I really am. I'm here. So welcome to the broadcast. As I mentioned, I was going to come out here at 3 p.m. today just to kind of touch base and see what's going on in the space. So I'm going to go head over to the Facebook page real quick so I can see what's happening on my profile anyway. There we go. All right. So if I do see a comment out here, I have audio. That's good. If I have a comment come through on Facebook, I'll try to catch it. If I do miss it, please let me know. Hold on a second. There we go. All right, we should be good. I don't want to see the active feed over there, but we do have you showing up over there. So what I'm going to do. Oh, there it is. Okay. And now I can move it. This thing, I tell you what, and it's like, really? Okay. They got the weirdest buttons on here. I don't know why they even did this. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. Oh, that's the, I see the button now. It's up here. All right, there we go. Now we're locked in. Now we're locked in. Okay. Hope you like my desktop. If you're new to the broadcast, my name's Little Best. I run Best Studios LLC along with a lot of other brands and websites, and we're not going to get into the detail of that today. What I am going to get into is what we're doing currently over at Best Studios and how we might be able to help people when it comes to automations. So I'm going to take you over to a couple of builds that we do and kind of give you a rundown, an idea of how we work things. Currently, my website is down in maintenance mode, so you're not going to be able to get to Best Studios LLC. But we do have a couple of things open, like our AIO agents and our chatbots that we're going to be going through and demonstrating in the next couple of weeks so that you guys can see how those operate. What I am going to do right now is I'm going to take you over basically to the way I set things up. And you guys have probably seen me do this in the past, but I want you guys to start to get a better feel for how you can apply AI in your everyday business move, whatever that might be. I'm not just looking to build automations here today. I'm also very fond of those, and I want you to know how those operate. But today I just kind of want to touch base on some of the key factors that we still keep seeing every day in AI. And I'm going to use one of my software platforms to do that I'm currently using. And that's 1minute.ai. If you're unfamiliar with 1minute.ai, I'm going to put it in the slide here. I'm pretty sure this link will work. That should get you there. And the reason I use this app so much, and I'll tell you really specifically, is I paid for it once, okay? And you can still find some of these. There are a lot of these limited time or lifetime deals that you can buy into where you pay one time and you never pay again. Merlin is another example of one of those where you can get a lifetime account, and I'll be showing you that in just a minute. So one of the things I really like about this setup is when I purchased it, I was told I would get 4 million tokens a month in order to use it. Okay, so if I look at my subscription here, currently they have an enterprise plan that's $7 per member per month. Okay, so that's per person, per user. And you don't even you get the 2 million credits per month now. Okay, so when I bought into this, I got it at 4 million credits a month, which was huge at the time. And now the cost has gone down for credits, so I get a lot of value out of those credits that I get. So right now, their main plan is to try and, it's basically $10 a month. And what I ended up doing, and you will still see ads for this coming through. That's why I keep bringing this up to people. I also am an affiliate for 1 Minute AI. That's why I provide a link like that to 1 Minute AI for you guys to use. So I would receive compensation. It doesn't increase the cost to you at all, but it does give me credit for bringing you into the system. And that's just affiliate marketing. Now you can go try this for free. You get 450,000 credits per month, which is great for like content and images and things like that. You're not going to be able to generate more than 1 or 2 videos with that, because a video alone takes about 450,000 credits. So I wouldn't say this is a best deal for anybody, but for what I use it for and for how I use it for my personal use, this is more than enough for me to get the work done and to actually get things that I need. Like here, it's just really one of those options that you don't want to mess with. So in my case, what I end up doing, let me get over here. I think I got a window blocking something here. Let me reload this page. It's just because it's iframed into another software. It's giving me issues with the pop-up. That was the error that just popped up. Okay, so for me, what you get out of this is you can basically consolidate into different formats. And what this means is you've got a chat, writing, document, image, videos, audio. It handles them all. So that's the AI Trailblazer Studio. These are really all the same thing except for limitations on what you can access. Okay, Solopreneur Studio is literally the same as the Content Creator or Trailblazer Studio, plus or minus 1 item. You know, like in this case, the Content Creator Studio doesn't have the audio, no, chat, image, video, writing, chat, image, a document. Okay, so that's the only one it doesn't have, which I'm surprised. But in that case, it's just a framework, so that it looks like you're picking on something and you're building out content machines. Now, I want to touch on something really quick that a lot of people, not sure why that's not coming up right, don't understand when it comes to what an AI is capable of. Okay, these are tools, and what they are allowing you to do is, in this case, I can go do a multi-chat with all kinds of different LLMs at the same time if I would like, similar to u.com, magi.ai, things like that. It's a curated version of ChatGPT, Anthropic, Olama, all that all built in one. Keyword research, another thing I can do together. Keywords, blog article generators, email generators, reply generators, all this type of stuff is really just a link to ChatGPT using the API to generate something as what we call a chat completion. Okay, the chat completion is just really providing a prompt that is requesting an output from the GPT component and producing an output that we want. And in this case, you know, summarizing a YouTube video. This is really cool stuff. Like, if you guys haven't tried just doing summarizations of videos, and sometimes it's not as easy. I mean, YouTube's getting a little more strict now on what videos, and you can put a notation in your videos when you go to put a video up on YouTube that you do not want it accessed by scrapers that are allowing them to do what I could do right now. Like, let's say, for instance, I were to go out to BestAiTV, to our website, and I want to find just a simple video I want to get some information on. So like, here's one Ray and I did real quick. It was just a short, and this will be all right. And I'm not going to give the content away, but what I'm going to do is drop that video URL right here. Okay, so I don't want you to hear what's actually going on. I'm going to let it auto determine the language, which he speaks good English, but you know, there may be cases where it won't determine the words. Now, for me to summarize this video, it's going to be a reduced cost because I'm using Haiku by Anthropic, which shows here the level of cost that it's going to take. Like, if I were to take this to GPT-01, it's going to take 3 times the cost that it would to just run it through Haiku. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with no prompt because it's going to determine on its own. Now, it'll give me a credit estimation, which is nice because if I'm going to be using this every day, every week, every month, producing content for other people per se, like if I'm using this in my business model where I'm actually, hey, I can generate logos or I can generate some vlog content videos or whatever for you, you know, I can do that. But how much of my output and tokenization am I going to lose if I do that? Now look at this. I can get almost 3 million words with, you know, just a few tokens with the account the way it is. But as you go down through here, you'll see each of these is such a drastic change or improvement. Sorry, I got a little on there. Prior to August of 23, and when you go back in time, even to some of the older models, it's useless to even use those anymore. So let's just see what happens. And in some cases, what may happen in this, there's no captions on this video. And maybe that's what it's trying to do. So there's a good point. So if it's using the captions portion to actually summarize a video, what it's doing is it's going in and it's reading, but there are captions on this video. I don't know why it says there aren't. Let's see, captions. Okay, they were turned off just now. Captions turned on, so it had captions. Not sure why it failed in that regard. And it could, again, be one of those things that ended up happening recently with YouTube getting a little snippy about people scraping their videos for content. Let's find something a little more. Let's just go into one of our own videos, let's say. I'll get a longer format. Let's do like one of our lives. We'll tend to do these. Like here's episode 24. Couldn't have been more than 25 minutes long. So I'm just going to copy that out. I'm going to see if this works. It may not. The shorts might not work. I never tried this. This is a first for me too. So I want you guys to see what happens. And this way we learn together. That's why I do these, because there are going to be times. There we go. So here's a summary of the podcast transcript, which is great. You know why? Because now I can use this to drop in the description, and I can even do it. What I would do, let me show you how I would do this. So here's this really cool thing here that came up. Now let's say I take this, and this was from the last podcast. Okay. Now I can copy this. Now I can take it over to the multi-chat. Let's actually do that. I can use the same app. Okay. I'm going to select a conversation, or I can start a new one. So I'm going to say, please turn this content into a YouTube video description. But I want to do it specifically for BestAiTV. Okay. And then I normally put in a hyphen, 3 quotes, content, 3 more quotes, because it's typically how it expects you to enclose content. I'm sure there's many other ways. I just do it because it was something I saw early on, and it seems to work just fine. And I hit enter. And what's going to do is it's going to now take that summary and take it a step further. Now, when I asked it for a YouTube description, I didn't ask for much, and this is all I got. And this is what a lot of people will get if they just say it that way. So there are things that you can do, okay? And I'm only using the one AI. I'm not using more than one. And it did add emojis, and it did add some hashtags. So I'm okay with this, but even at times, I like to see maybe a few more hashtags, maybe a little richer content development. So I might just tell it, nice, but add some more emojis and hashtags relevant to the content. Expand on the summary a little bit, kind of thing. Okay. And we have the timestamps, which is really cool because that's something people love to have. And I'm really glad that it did that. Excuse me. God, I got a cat laying next to me. I'm kicking up dust over here. Okay, so we're just going to leave it at that. I'm going to send it again. And what's going to happen is it's just going to give me a little deeper content. Okay, more emojis that are relevant, more hashtags. Okay, much better, much better. Okay, so this is more like what I would want to put in for the description. So AI Insider, deep dive. Now, I'm not sure why it's the AI Insider. There's no comment about BestAiTV, anything of that nature. Trying to think. I'm going to go one step further. Not bad, but you didn't mention a thing about BestAiTV. Please promote a link to the website. Okay. Okay, kind of thing. Boom. And again, I'm just using up a few credits. It's not a big deal. This isn't, you can see my numbers at 28 million. I'm not sure how many it's eaten up right now, but that should be all I need. That looks good. Now that's short. I'm not even certain of that. Oh, okay, right here. Rest of the previous description remains the same. Okay, I don't like when it does that. I see this a lot lately where it's just spitting out this, which is fine. I'll just use it for now. So what I would do here is I would take this content, but no, it says rest of the previous description remains the same. How much of the previous description? I actually like the hashtags better up there. Okay, I'm going to talk to it some more. Okay, I like what you did, but you cut back on hashtags and omitted all of the previous content. You describe as remaining the same. Please combine both renditions into the final product. Okay, or say the final output. All right. Now, this is what has to be done. Now, I could go and copy and paste. Okay, I could take this section out and I could go up here and take what I need here. Why do the extra work? Okay, I don't need to do that. I just need to tell it what I need done and let it do it. So now this time it's going to go back through and do a much more, love it. Now this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to take that content, copy it out. I can just simply copy the button here, head back over to BestAiTV, where I wish I would have just stayed. Well, here, I could do that. Reload, close tab. We don't want to be there anyway, so let's head back over here. Go to the channel. Oh, see, wrong channel, just like always. Leave it to YouTube to just keep switching stuff up on you. Okay, so we head back over to BestAiTV. I'm going to go to that last live feed that we just did, which was the latest episode. And as you can see on this one, which I'm going to pause, we had a genetic, okay, so this is like the basics of what we do on every broadcast. This is just what comes out. It's just kind of the thing that says, here's what we do. And it actually cuts some off, it looks like. No. Okay, so that comes out of stage 10. So in this case, I'm just going to take all of that and drop this. Oops, I got to edit first. Thought I was in the edit mode. So I'm just going to take all this and replace it with that. And I'll chop this up. I don't need this. Actually, wait a second. I liked what we had here. Okay. So I'm going to do this. That's part of the main description anyway. And really what we're going to do here is in this episode, bam, nail it. And then in this case, I'm just going to remove some of the stuff I should have had it summarize out because I tend to do that a lot. But what happened to all my emojis? Okay, I lost all my emojis for some reason. That's not cool. Where are they? Where are they? All right, I need all my emojis here. It literally didn't copy out any of the emojis on that. Yeah, that didn't even produce right. It was just giving me the summary from before I summarized it. I didn't copy it out properly. All right, there we go. So now we got everything. And now, I'll typically go and select one of the AI generated images from the show for that day, and you'll see those up here. But you want something that looks active, something that looks fun, that looks engaging, something that people are going to see that you're having a good time, or that you're communicating, you're talking, you're doing something, not just some dead face on the screen. Having Jim would be okay because he's our guest on the show nowadays, and he's talking about some important stuff. So that they know he's there that day would be awesome for a lot of people. Okay, set it on the playlist. Make sure it's set up for the podcast listing. And then you might also want to come in here and set up tags. And when I say that, if I go to one of my other videos real quick on YouTube, What you'll find in some of the first episodes, I did do a lot of tagging, and not so much as recent, but videos. I'm going to go back a couple. Let's say here, I believe, just a short for Jim. And I believe, whoops, for tags, I did add some tags on these because I just did some really quick shorts from the video. Come down on the bottom. There we go. So I can literally just copy these, okay, and come back over to the other video and paste. And there they are, just like they were. Okay. And recording date's always a good thing. I like to show that it was recorded. Whoop, that was the 5th. On whatever day it was actually recorded for the broadcast, especially if it's a live podcast. Entertainment. This is actually science and tech. So we want to make sure we're doing all these right. And blog, people in blogs is okay, or how to and style is okay, but a lot of times science and tech is where you want to be when it comes to AI. Okay. Time and descriptive language. No, it's not Donska. It's English. All right, so let's just call it at that. And so all I've done here is used an AI tool to develop a proper YouTube description with emojis and hashtags. So this is what a lot of people, all right, I want to be perfectly clear here because it's important. Let me see if I can do this. No, that's not what I want to do. Sorry, I have a small itch in my throat today. Is the fact that there are a lot of tool makers out there still claiming that these are AI agents. Okay. And what I mean by those, they, whatever, is these things, these little components that make stuff for you. Okay. So if I go to my studio, this is what they're calling AI agents. These are not AI agents. Okay. What these are helper tools. Okay. These are email generators. Give me some idea. What's your brand voice? If you have BestAiTV, I need a blog post. Okay. A post about AI in Hollywood, let's say, and how it's used. Right. I'm just going off the seat of my pants here. Credit estimation is low. That's my prompt. That's all I'm going to do. I just want to see what it generates. And so this isn't an AI agent. Okay. An AI agent is something that has tools like this that it uses itself to produce an output. Okay. So in this case, what did I get? Got a really cool blog post. All right. This doesn't look too bad. Or even a letter, maybe more like it looks like it's more of a letter, like a public declaration. So it's not really a proficient content, but it's relative. It's something that could be used. It's talking about everything I needed it to: production efficiency, screenplay, storytelling, post-production workflows, visual effects, and animation. Again, I don't need to tell it to be a professional anything. It just knows what it knows. So if I tell it to tell me something, that's what it's going to tell me. There's been a lot of this, insight, and I use it. Don't get me wrong. If I go to, let's go to my prompts. I have some prompts here that I work in. So I have a prompt list. And some of these are just simple prompts. I also have master AI and influencer prompts that I use all the time. But like these, LinkedIn expert. So what does that mean? That means I produce a prompt that says act as an informed LinkedIn expert, and then insert the industry. I have lots of that stuff. When it comes to act as, I actually have probably some of the more intensive lists of act as. I have a whole, here, I'll show you. I have a whole table out here of act as, I believe. Prompt methods. Okay. So these are some of the prompt methods that you can use to generate prompts. And this is just the beginning. There's a lot of content here. The one thing that I'm kind of working with, though, let's see if I can find one. I forgot where I put it. I'm just looking for that's not really what I'm looking for. But in essence, it's the same thing. I mean, I have these prompt lists set up so that I can create stuff on the fly. If I have something that I want it to, well, here, like business consulting. As a business consultant, writing and editing, as more or less a copyright editor, marketing and advertising, working as a social media marketing service. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's all about how you want the content to be delivered. And again, these are not agents. Let me give you an example real quick. And this is where my chatbots and my AIO agents.net. Okay. This is what's known as an AI agent. And what an agent is capable of doing is much more than just a chat widget where you sit here and talk to something in the corner. Now, this is the Atlas. This one happens to be powered by AIO Flow. And this is just a setup that I'm playing with. It's not even, it doesn't even exist anymore. So in this case, what I need to do is refresh this bot. And this is something we run into all the time when we're building bots. If we move things around or change domains or what have you, then we may have to go back and retrain some of these. This one's just in production, so it's just hanging out. But the one thing about these bots, and I'll show you what I mean by that, that's the ones that I show you somewhat regularly through AIO Flow, and these are our AIO agents. So I have Atlas here. I actually have Candid available today, which is the one you don't speak with on, just so you know, this is the one you call on the phone. So if you were to call my system and talk to my 800 number, my 888 number, 888-365-7060, you can go ahead and call her, and she will answer the phone. And she will run you through a list of prompts in order to get things done. Now, I have not even finalized this build. I'm a plumber with leaks, you might say, where I have some stuff that I haven't finished on my own end, but we get it together for others. So a conversation comes in, there's a call that's recorded, okay? And then what we can do with that is actually send calls from these areas out or in and have conversations logged, and then take that data, run it through a custom AI tool that then allows us, if we wanted to, we add these tools to the outputs, which allow us to create variables that are stored with content that we ask the AI to create. And in that case, it can follow up, do work, take notes, take messages, set appointments, deliver content, all kinds of cool things. And that's really what we're in the middle of. So in this case, we have an agent with a tool that can actually then, once the tool is utilized, be added to an automation flow somewhere within the system, like a follow-up flow, or which would be similar to an autoresponder like Aweber or Constant Contact, all built within the system. So this is really where agentive AI is headed, where your agent resides, your AI employee resides within your CRM, controls most of the features within the CRM, such as your, like for instance, if you're running a pipeline and you want people to bring lead, if you want leads brought in by your AI, it's going to add them to your pipeline and move them through your pipeline as you go. And this is just one example of a pipeline that I have in place. I have others as well. But it also opens up opportunities for you to be able to create content within your website developments, which is one thing we do. I don't do a lot of AI development here within the AIO website builder because this is more of a plug and play add-in drag and drop builder is what I was trying to get at, so that we can build content quickly, especially when it comes to landing pages like we did for BestAiTV and BestAI Podcast. Just a simple interior setup with a form that we can utilize that then fires flows and automations and gets things moving. So that's just an example of what it can do if it's attached to an AI system. Okay. Now there are AI apps out there that are website builders. Like there are WordPress templates that will actually build WordPress websites for you using AI. There are other softwares that build AI websites that you have to host on their platforms in order to use them, rather than being able to put them anywhere you want. So you have to consider that as well. And then there's just going to be those that you can build content from. And that's one that, like what we do over on SiteJet at AIO Hosting, which if you're unfamiliar, and this is another thing we provide as access to a full turnkey system, is the fact that if you go to AIO Hosting, I'm actually going to be working up the numbers on that. Those numbers are not correct right now. That was just thrown in there for a moment. If you were to scroll down to the bottom of the page and see pricing of any kind, I may have removed it already. Let's see, on the home page, it might be on the home page. No, maybe I did remove that. I know the news doesn't fire. No, I guess I did take the pricing off of there. Okay, so that's good. One of the things here is just the fact that we incorporate our own hosting within any builds that we do for people. Typically, if we're going to build a website for them, we just add them to our hosting system. But if they're somewhere where they're happy with, we don't move them. We just leave them where they're at, and then we'll connect our systems to their systems, and it kind of goes on from there. I kind of wanted, if anything, to just give you guys the true definition of what an AI agent is. And if I were to even go over to my other build at AIO Chatbots, now this is a much different build, okay? And it's more driven toward the concept of the widget than it is anything else, but it also is able to talk to us on the phone and make and place and return phone calls, things of that nature. The thing that's really cool about this one that I've been able to do is build what's like a Russian doll. And what I managed to do here, and I've already prompted it to give the answer earlier, can you tell me how many subordinates you have working? And Atlas on this end, AIO Command HQ, which is basically my biggest, baddest AIO chatbot, and something I can produce for others, but it's not finalized yet. I'm still in production methods to make sure it operates properly. This one happens to be in command of 12 specialist capabilities, which I consider subordinates, or consider just like an army battalion. You know, you got your commanding chief of the officers, and then you've got the officers, and then you got the grunts. Okay, same kind of concept here. What I've done, though, just to start, is I've built 12 alter egos for this bot, so that it has the ability to act as alpha, which is a subordinate social media community distribution bot or agent. So the agent is really AIO Command HQ. Okay, it's the one doing all the work. It's the one providing the detailed request based on what the user provides. It sends that request out to the AI so that it can generate the output. And in doing so, I've already predefined what each aspect of the bot is capable of doing. But I haven't necessarily attached all the tools that it might need to do its job on the back end. And that's one of the biggest programming hurdles that we have when we're building out AI components, is being able to attach all the tools to make it do what we want it to do. So in this case, I've given it some really cool names. I like them: Alpha Bravo Charlie. Charlie is our support service satisfaction specialist. Delta, Echo, Forge, Ranger, Archer, Scout, Striker, and Vector. And they all relate by name. In a sense, if you say Scout, you think of recruitment, talent, team building. Ranger, REO, optimization, performance. Archer, analytics, finance, metrics, you know, checking out the landscape kind of thing, or firing in the wind to see what comes back. Apex is our e-com, conversation, and sales expert. Forge delivers the content and copywriting narrative. So in this case, I said, provide me a form letter to fire an employee. Okay. And I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but it produced the format. All right. And it didn't actually walk me through the steps. So if I were to say, how was that produced? What I'm hoping is going to happen is it's going to tell me, in a sense of maybe, I'm trying something here, somewhat of a chain of thought that it did. And this is what it comes back with. The form letter for terminating an employee was produced by following a structured approach that aligns with the operational directives of the AIO system. Here's how it was created. An assessment. A request for a termination letter was assessed as a need for a formal communication template. Solution identification. Recognizing that a professional and clear letter is essential for such sensitive matters, I drew upon standard practices for termination letters, ensuring it includes necessary elements such as the reason for termination, return of company property, and final paycheck details. The execution. The letter was structured to maintain a professional tone, ensuring clarity and consciousness while adhering to legal and ethical standards. 4. Operational integrity. The letter was crafted to ensure it aligns with company policies and maintains respect for the employee's dignity, even in termination. 5. Precision. The letter was formatted to be clear and actionable, providing all necessary information without ambiguity. This process reflects the military-grade precision and professionalism expected in communications, particularly in sensitive situations like employee termination. So do you get a feel for the persona that I attach to this agent? Okay. We can attach personas to knowledge bots as well to give them some sense of, Hey, you want some information? Great. I'm here to give it to you. I'm really happy to be here. I'm going to give you everything you want kind of thing. It's typically a very submissive, I'm here for you. I'll do whatever you want kind of attitude, and I'm happy to do it. Okay. That's what we tend to do. In this case, I didn't go there. I went with a much more formalized, much more military grade, as it said in it, to it's aware of its objective. Okay, it knows what it's supposed to do, and it knows how it's supposed to promote itself and how it's supposed to express itself. This is what an AI agent is really good at. Okay, and it's the more you build upon that aspect of your brand voice and put that into the AI agent so that it's able to speak for you, as you, alongside of you, and promote you as a business entity with no error. Now, that's what we strive for. Okay. Let's get one thing right. There's no such thing as a no error chatbot. It happens all the time. We get hallucinations, we get errors in judgment, we get bad reasoning, and that's why this, DeepSeek R1 was such a big hit. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, it reasons so well compared to some of the others," because we have put these to the test like this, and we do it a lot, where we just say, "Okay, here's the next order of progression. What are you going to do with this? How is this going to work out? What are we going to see when we deliver this prompt?" It's an ever evolving game of hunt and peck, pick and choose, better for worse. I mean, I'm using really weird acronyms there, but it's because of the frustration that we encounter sometimes when we're working with AIO agents, or AI agents, I should say, in general, is that they have somewhat a mind of their own sometimes. And we do have to, bring them back to common sense. So whenever you have a chatbot, and this is just an example of what you can do when you have, sorry, I'm trying to find a good login here, where you have a conversation with your chat. Okay. And one of the things that's beautiful about this one is I can actually talk to all these models at once if I'd like to, or I can just decide which ones I want to actually work with at once. So in this case, what we really like to do is build prompts upon prompts. And let me go a little deeper. I'm just going to take you over to my Merlin account for a moment so you can get a better understanding of how I built inside a ChatGPT environment. I do use ChatGPT like everybody else, and you can see I have lots of entries in here. I use it for the Best AI podcast summaries. Typically, whenever Ray and I go live, I'm over here doing the podcast summary along with the YouTube channel stuff. I go through here and just on the fly, if I want a quick answer to something, I might come out here, or if I want comparisons. This is an internal app. It's just a PDA app that's sitting up here on my desktop. So I downloaded it from OpenAI. The others are obviously, within my browser. So this is online. So I'm going to be using it online. And I also have ways of using content within my Mac Mini. And this is a really cool way of doing things. Now, you guys have seen me show my N8N builds and my Make builds and things like that. But something I don't talk about much in general is just the fact that Olama is here. Okay. Olama is literally on the screen at all times. And the reason that is, and in this case, I'm not actually attached to it to where I would want to be, but there is basically, once it's open and fired up, you have a chat interface for Olama on your system. And then from there, you can ask it questions and chat with it just like you would any other chat. I'm just kind of going through these and seeing what's operating. And in doing that, it gives you, an in-house ability to just use your own LLM. It would be an Olama plus whatever other model like DeepSeek that you drop down on it. But in this case, this is where I do most of my work. And yeah, am I exposing this to potential online, break-in threats where people might get my data? Yeah. Should I be developing IP, really sensitive IP content out here? Probably not. Do I? At times, yeah. But I'll just give you a quick rundown. Like with AIO bots and AIO chatbots, this is kind of an evolutionary process. So with AIO chatbots, what I did was I brought in a bunch of the training and such that I was doing. Now, this is for New Oaks mostly because that's the brand I built upon. So this is a white label of New Oaks. And I do all my work based on the content that is New Oaks. Okay, so this is everything that's available on their end. I know what systems work. They've developed all the back-end SOPs so that you know how to set it up. All I'm really doing is asking it to define it for my brand. And what's really cool is that I can open up various chat conversations one at a time and really start digging into the build process and letting it give me ideas to work from. Because what's really cool about these is as you complete a task, okay, it responds in kind back to you. Like in this case, I was like, hey, before we continue, can I combine project chats? Like I've got all these chats that I've been doing on different task levels, and they're like, well, yeah, you can combine project chats. So since it's an ongoing project under Best Studios LLC's umbrella and relates to New Oak's implementations, combining relevant project chats would help maintain, and tells me why. I mean, why would I be doing this? So what I end up doing, and this is a good thing you can do, you can kind of take this at heart. I'd like to lay out the foundation for the project chats that should be accessible to one another. The Best Studios LLC project should be top hierarchy with AIO CRM underneath and all other AIO product offers under that. One such offering is AIO Postbot, which I just launched as a secondary SaaS offering that I'll provide the details on later. They are all included elsewhere currently. So it's basically just taking data that I provide for it, and I'm asking it to collaborate all this stuff or condense it and combine it into one primary substructure. And that's what it's done here is it's starting to understand the hierarchy of my business better. And this is the kind of structure that you need to incorporate into your chatbot so that it understands you and your business. It really is an important factor that not a lot of people are addressing. And what happens in that is you start to develop your brand to the bot so that when you ask questions about direction, how you should move forward, what you should do in this case, or even just when developing a new product, be able to come up with a process or a plan based on what you've already tried, done, created, produced, whatever that might be, then that gives you that much more to work on. All right, I'm going to check the feed real quick. I got Mark in the house. What's going on, dude? Yes, making a lot of prompts is smart. But you got to be careful because you can create sometimes too many prompts and you get lost in your prompts. AI is that use functions, not the functions themselves. Yes, in a sense, what I was trying to at least encourage people to understand more so than anything, I call this a chatbot right now. This is much more than a chatbot because I've developed a prompt that lets it be more than it could be. Okay. In most cases, when people come into a chatbot build, like this is AIO Command HQ. Okay. This is the bot itself. You see it in its build form. So as far as producing the bot itself and adding integrations and putting things together, there's a lot of things that take place. In this particular case, what we're really doing here is adding source content. Okay. So we have files that have been loaded up and not a lot. I mean, we're actually using text prompts, website links, no Q&A, no Google Sheets, one keyword trigger, and some company info. Okay, so all the company info stored here. The website links are here. And even in that case, I'm only like scraping a couple of websites. Okay, and I could do so much more. I could add a lot of text about office hours, pricing, all that kind of stuff, and I could definitely do that. It's not necessarily required because they are pretty smart. But what we do need to do is make sure that any of the other content we add to it, like when it comes to settings, we have a flow builder that we can add requests to. We've got a chat interface. We've got domains we can apply to the system. We've got just the general build of the bot itself when it comes to training and giving a conversation model. Now, this is where my prompt template comes in to help it distinguish the various subordinates of its own. So I can just give you a brief. This is my IP here, so I'm not going to give this stuff away. But you get an idea. Like here's where the keys are brought in for each of the various subordinates and what their true task is all about. Now, a safety prompt switch. This is something you'll find on some of these LLM builds that allow you to lock in what it's capable of responding to. I'm not going through the whole build here. I'm just trying to give you an idea that this is a bot, more of a chat bot that is being converted into an AIO agent. In my case, it's an AIO agent or an AI agent. The others that we have at AIO Flow, which we build inside our CRM, okay, along with a lot of other stuff that we do. Exit out without saving. Inside these agents, they're much different. Now, these flow bots, these are similar to the ones we used to build back a while back, which are very much similar chat widget type agents, but these are somewhat sunset. We're not even using these that much anymore. These are much more advanced. They do a lot more stuff. And in this case, like I'm starting to come up with a lot of different ways to connect these. Like Best AI Podcast, if you head over there, I believe it's using this bot. Let's see. And that's where I switch things up every now and then just to test the bots out. So you may actually run into one now and then. So if I go over to, where was that one I was looking at? I forgot. Let me close these so I don't have too many open here. Okay, got those taken care of. Oop, I probably didn't save those. Watch this. All those tags will be gone in that. Nope, they're there. Okay, cool. Right, let's get out of there. So where was I at? I was going to show you guys something, and now I forgot what it was. You gotta. Do you remember? It happens. Anyway, the whole principle behind this idea is that I want to be able to use these bots. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Okay, let me just head over. I wanted to see if Best AI Podcast or Best AI TV actually is using the right bot. So this bot, yeah. So this one's from inside this system, and you can see that by apparent the colors of. If I head over here, I'll show you. Oh no, we changed that, didn't we? Yeah, it's going to be. Where is it? I thought all the colors and everything for that were here. Oh, that's right. So if we do the website widget, that's here. And then we can edit that. This is the website widget edit. So now I've got, let's see. I don't know why it's got that weird. It went back to the other icon. This icon. What site's that on? That's on. I'll use a Best AI. That's the widget icon and the agent avatar. Why that doesn't use the same icon is beyond me. That's really weird. Oh, I get it. Icon color. Oh, only icon button. Okay, we want just the icon. We just want the icon. So it was trying to change that. We don't want an icon. And hopefully that'll make a difference. Let's see. Oh, it's just got the chat now. Okay. No biggie. I'm not worried about it. So what that allows then is this one is the one that's built inside that system. And I can say hello. Oh, it's reloading anyway. Let's see what it has to say. There we go. I'm Ava, the official customer support agent for the Best AI Podcast. I'm dedicated to helping you explore the latest AI tools and enhance your productivity and content quality. What do you know about AI? I'm just playing. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, look at that. As Ava, the official customer support agent for the Best AI Podcast, I can share that AI, or artificial intelligence, refers to the simulation of human intelligence. Just come up with a good answer. That's cool. When is the podcast? If I could type, I'd be 100% more efficient. And hopefully the data that it gathers will be in conjunction with what it's been trained on. It's typically released weekly, but the exact schedule can vary. If you're looking for the next episode, I can help you find that information. Are you interested in a topic or guest for the upcoming episodes? No, just the weekly time it's running. And it may not have an answer because I may have gotten last week. Let's see what it says. Yeah, let's do this. And that was because I was going through the process at the time of switching over from one day to the next. So let's do a quick edit to the content. Now this again is this one, so we're going to need to go back to the AI training. Now the training we've been having issues with. We're working right now on some of the training modules that get included in this. So what it should be doing is accessing this content, okay, which is actually showing it when it's available, and it should be Wednesdays at 12 p.m. now. So it's a good thing we saw this. Okay. Wednesday mornings, and I'm just going to copy that for now. And actually, we're not using the Best AI podcast group so much, but I might make that AI Fusion. It just seems to work better that way. Now, I'm going to submit that, but it's not actually going to train. We had issues with the training data even being picked up recently, so I'm just going to run it to see if it's going to work or not. I highly doubt that it's going to. What I'm going to have to do is actually come in here and edit, and just kind of in the settings for the main prompt, for the system prompt, I'm just going to add in the hours of the show. And I'm going to save that. That should actually save on its own because it's connected right to the database. Yeah, that'll save on its own. So once I close, it saves. And now I should simply be able to ask, when is the podcast? And now that it's trained itself, or I've trained it, and the time the show is present, Best AI Podcast airs every Wednesday morning at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's not morning. Did I put morning in the prompt? Well, I did. So it should be Wednesday. I'm just going to make it Wednesday at 12 p.m. Okay. That was my bad. And that's part of the other problem. Still human error. If you make a mistake training the thing and you don't give it the proper content, then it's going to answer incorrectly. Okay. But the other beauty behind AI agents is just this. What we have available over at AIO is the ability to train it at each stage of the conversation, which then allows it to loop back or work its way back, and you can even decide what kind of conversation vision it has, whether it runs through all the stages, is only forward looking, only goes to the next stage, or it might bounce and have access to various stages at whatever level it's at. So in this case, the AI is in stage 1, which is the introduction, but it actually has access to, so this is the current stage, has access to understanding the requirements of the user, providing information to the user, and addressing queries from the user. The closing and stuff isn't something that it wants to get to right away, so you're certainly not going to allow your introductory prompt for your bot or your agent to take it immediately to the end of the conversation and close out a deal that it's not certain of yet, because it might have not gotten all of the actual sentiment from the conversation yet, because that is another thing that we're able to do during a live conversation that's being recorded. We could be, and these are just hypotheticals right now, we could be assessing all of the conversation while it's taking place in real time as it records. It can gather that information, turn it text to script or voice to script, summarize the data, evaluate the data comparatively to whatever other sources we want it to, develop content from that conversation based on the sentiment, shoot links out, send calendar invites, whatever we needed to do, knowing that perhaps this buyer's ready to buy. And it's a good time now to send that proposal. Bing, the AI sends the proposal. And we're working on that today, actually. I'll be building out a flow this afternoon and this evening on setting up proposals so that you can sit in a meeting with someone, fill in a small form while you're talking to that individual about their problems, their pain points, their company, their vision, the kinds of things they are looking to achieve, and then have AI go and do a full-on AI evaluation summary for them and produce an actual proposed output as to what you intend to do for the company, how you intend to do so, and how much you're going to charge, along with a signatory line, so that the proposal is closed within 5 minutes after your meeting. Okay. And follow-ups included, all that stuff comes with. So this is what we hope to show people daily as we move ahead, that this is the reality of what AI agents are all about. It's not about just talking with a chat widget and getting an answer to a question anymore. Okay. It's really about getting the tool set and the free time. This is what's going to release you from all of that aggravation of working in the mundane and working with the repetitiveness of what a lot of people deal with in online business. I mean, this is just a fact. So go head over to Best AI Podcast. We're on Best AI TV on YouTube every Wednesday at noon, where I also broadcast videos like these on the regular. I'll be coming out here rather often, sometimes a few times a day, so that you guys get a better understanding of how we use Make, Late Node. I'm not a Zapier guy. I'm not a Pabbly guy. Okay. I do have access to some of those accounts and have ways to show people how to use them. Being that they're older generation, that they are much more expensive to operate, and that they haven't really advanced a whole lot over the last few years comparatively to some of the other automation systems that are out there now, I'm not going to be dealing in those systems, and I'm not going to be training on those systems, but I will be acknowledging access to the three that I'm going to show you right now, and that's Make, which is make.com. It's also known as Integramat formally, so it's a place to hang out. Go over, log in, create a free account. The pricing's pretty relative, and the way we operate as an agency for others is when you get into your free account, we're able to set you up with even a small automation. If you want to answer some Facebook posts, or if you want to do a self-posting app that does this thing for you automatically, we have the ability to do that within a free account in most cases. In small developments, yes, absolutely. If you need to go core to do that, that's fine, but we can actually be added into your account as a manager from our end and be able to access all of your scenarios and templates and connections and credentials and things like that. So if you don't want to do this stuff yourself, we can do it for you. And that was one of the reasons we went with Make, along with Late Node, which is another type of application. And I will leave the links for these in the chat. So don't sign up for anything until you see my link, because I support people who use my affiliate links. The reason being is that I'm getting a small kickback from the company for promoting them to you. When you come to them through me, that gives me a small portion of payment that doesn't add up your fee, doesn't make your fee any greater to come to the site. But what it does do is it gives me not only incentive, but a reason to help you provide more value on the back end when you start to work in these systems and you have questions about how they operate. If you're working under my affiliate account, then I'm more than happy to help you. But if you go and sign up and create an account under these systems, unless you already have one, which is fine, I'm not asking you to always sign up for my affiliate account. The principle being is that if you are going to go and just sign up for an account and then come to me for a lot of questions and answers, there's going to be fees involved. It's just the way it works. So, and in some cases, if you're working with me as it is, these types of systems, especially AIO, may be included in part of the package where you don't pay for the software at all. Okay. And then the third is the one that we're running in-house, which you've seen us run quite often, and that's N8N. N8N has a huge track record of working substantially well with AI-generated content. We're building things like our AIO Total Assist, which is a general way of saying the agent that does everything. And we're kind of working models like this out regularly. We're trying to attach AI employees from one system to other systems to see how these employees work with each other, to see whether or not they're going to cooperate. Some do, some don't. It's just the way they operate. This one's really cool because when I'm in test flow, I'll give you an idea how this works, just so you get a see. So what I've done here is I've created Gigi, call her GGV2. And the way we operate Gigi is through a simple app. Now, you might not be able to see this, but I'm going to show it up on the screen here. I'm just going to hold it up. This is Telegram. Okay. Now, Telegram is very much like any other IM. It has a little microphone down here that I can talk to it with. Now, what I'm going to do, since I made the flow inactive, is I'm going to just simply come in here, because you can't see the flow operate if it's in active mode. And this may not even work, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to say, Gigi, write me an email to Ross McCamey via Gmail. Just let him know I'm not going to be available tomorrow, and we'll see what it does. Now watch this. It's not going to fire until I tell it to, but when I say test, the audio is going to come through. Whoop, I didn't fire it before. There it goes. It's going to take the text to speech. It's going to take the speech to text. I'm sorry. It's going to translate it to text. Then the AI agent is going to go in, and if you see that's those two spinning boxes, this is the Olama chat model. Now, the Llama chat model is embedded into my M1 Mac Mini. And in doing so, I've also been able to download we had a problem. That's all right. We'll check it out. What it does is it gives me the ability to also utilize the DeepSeek R1 model. And the way that's done is I download the Llama service into my system. And this is probably what did it. I wasn't doing it locally, but this is the local. I could also do the Llama account if I wanted to use it online. In this case, I have the software already installed on my Mac M1 Mini. I simply use the local service, and then from there, I can also have it use the DeepSeek R1 latest model to do its reasoning. So in this case, what ended up happening was something likely broke from Telegram. What did it get? Okay, false error code description, bad request, can't parse entities. So it's probably because of it says, rate me an email, not write me an email. So it didn't understand me very well with the way it picked up the microphone and translated it to text. So it really didn't know what to do with itself. That can happen. But what this would have done if it had operated properly is the AI would have sent a request down here to the Gmail component. Now you can see here it wasn't able to send the request or send the email because it didn't know what type of actual email it was supposed to create. And right here it says unavailable tomorrow. That's the subject. Ross McCamey. Hi, Ross. Just wanted to let you know that I won. It was supposed to be that I won't be available tomorrow. Okay. And it just got cut off. It's probably because my voice either stuttered, got weak, didn't pick it up well enough on the mic. And that's where some of these issues come into play. And we have to work around them, try and find ways to avoid them. And it's, troubleshooting. And a good troubleshooter finds the problem, fixes the problem, so the problem never comes back again. Not to say it always happens that way, but we try. All right. So that's all I got for you today. I hope that maybe helped weed out some of the confusion that people deal with. And I'm just going to come up here on screen for a moment so you can see me without my little mini me down there in the corner. I'm hoping someday that is going to be reality. We are working on bots like that where we can literally take our own voice, clone it, our own face, take a bunch of really cool photographs of it and create a 3D environment for it, do some lip sync automations with AI that blend directly into the image itself and make it look like it's really me talking. And I would be able to then produce in a widget the ability for you to simply come over, hit the mic button, say hello to me, and have it answer in kind. I have some examples of that I'll present during the podcast. So come on by Wednesday at 12 p.m. next week, where we'll show you more about that, or we'll dig into it here on one of the YouTube feeds. Benny wants to come say hi. Do you want to come say hi, Benny? No, she's sitting right here next to me. Come here, baby girl. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come here, baby girl. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here and say hi. She's being reluctant. She's sitting right here, literally right here. I could pet her chin. But she doesn't want to come out today, so maybe next time. This has been Leland Best Studios. We're doing our best to keep AI in the limelight because we really like what we're seeing. Try not to be too negative about it if you can help it. You're going to see a lot of negativity when it comes to competition, threats, concerns, fears, all those kinds of things going forward. Oh, there she comes. She's going to step on my keyboard now and probably blow out the feed, but we'll see. Are you coming to say hi now? Gonna give me a kiss? Okay. Thank you, Bean. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a great week. And if you have any questions, leave them below in the feed. Make sure to subscribe, ring that bell so that you do get notifications going forward. Because, and honestly, if you go over to BestAiTV, sign up in the form down below. You'll get a notification the morning of our broadcast on Wednesday so that you're sure to be there. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. All right, Benny. You coming down?